You ready to start the day off? I know I am. This is going to bug me. Well, whatever, right? Anyway, so for those of you that are watching on the YouTubes, do make sure that you click on the subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified when new videos come on. If you're watching somewhere else, go to YouTube, click on the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified when new videos come on. Reason being, one person every single week is going to win some stuff, right? One person every week that is both subscribed to YouTube and comments on the YouTube videos is going to win. That's all you have to do. That's it. That's all you got to do. So let me go ahead and get out of there. And now let's go ahead and just get into this. First of all, whenever I'm going through this content that we're about to talk about right now, which is, have you tried everything and your business still isn't growing? This is a very important concept, right? Very important topic. Probably affects 90% of business owners. I don't care if you're a home-based business. I don't care if you're network marketing. I don't care if you have a brick and mortar business. 90% of businesses aren't growing, period. So we need to talk. So aside from that, if you hear things that I'm talking about within the video and you have a question about it, feel free to put the questions in the comments, and then I'm going to go back at the very end of the video and I'm going to look at the questions and answer what I can. Sound fair? All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me get some coffee real quick. I'm feeling very naked because I forgot to put my bracelets on. Let me say hello to a couple people first. Nicole, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, miss. Lissa, good morning. Good morning to you. Jennifer, hello, lovely Martha. Good morning to you. Aw, shucks. Good morning to you, Jennifer. And Katie Lynn, good morning, Miss Martha. Katie Lynn, I just watched this week's episode of Handmaid's Tale last night, and oh, man, that I can't wait till next week. Tara, hey, lady. Missy, good morning, beautiful friend. Kayla, good morning. Jennifer, love your shirt. Thank you. Nancy, happy Friday. Elle, hi, Martha. Heather, good morning. Shoshana, wow, I made it to start. Yeah, there we go, you guys. Okay, so if you tried everything and your business still isn't growing, that's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? So I just want to tell you guys about my own background and understanding this concept, because whenever I first quit my corporate gig and started working from home, I did first things first, and I went and bought a cheap desk. I didn't need a desk, you guys. Anyway, I bought a cheap desk and put it together, and it was in the basement of my house, okay? Because that was my office. And the desk was not put together correctly because I put it together, and one of the drawers wouldn't pull out, and the particle board part was showing. It was not right. But the top worked, and that's really how a desk is, right? I just needed the top part. That was so funny. But anyway, I remember in those days, I quit my job. You know, I mean, a lot of you know the story of me quitting my job, which was a very dramatic story, but I'm not going to pick up at that point because we don't have enough time for that right now. But whenever I quit my job and I built that desk and I sat downstairs, I remember going through, like I would go online and I would search how to build a business, right? So I was starting with SEO, which is search engine optimization. It's a thing I geek out on. That's where I started with my business. And so I was seeing the Ty Lopez's, and I was seeing the Amy Porterfields, and I was seeing the I can't even remember, Marie Forleo's. Like, I was seeing all of those people out there, and I was looking at their stuff, and I would buy into some different stuff, you know, because that's what I thought. I knew what I didn't know, or I knew that I didn't know everything, right? Like, I absolutely didn't know everything. I was trying to start this business, and I was like, okay, well, how am I going to do this? And as I was starting, I was picking up a little bit of knowledge from everywhere, and it wasn't working. And not only was it not working, by the day, I was getting more and more scared, because I was like, I got to make this work. I just quit my job. And when I quit my job, I had, I'm going to say, delusions of everything just being fine. It's going to be good. I'm good. Don't worry about it, Martha. Like, you're going to be able to do this. And then as I start looking at other people's material, like the people that I said, I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I don't get it. Not like I don't get it, because I think I'm a pretty smart person. I was looking at it, and I also know digital marketing, right? And so I was looking at their stuff, and I'm like, there's pieces missing out of this. This isn't everything. It can't be. And so I was starting to freak out, because I was like, is there anybody that teaches everything? Is there anybody that's just going to show me how to put all this stuff together? I need for somebody to say, hey, Martha, girl sitting at your broke down brand new desk that you didn't know how to put together. Hey, Martha, here's how you do this. You're a smart girl. You can do this. You're going to be the hero of your family. You're going to make this thing happen. Here's how it goes. I needed that. And I didn't have that. All I had was like all of these disconnected pieces of business that didn't seem to go together and weren't going to work. Right? And so I was freaking out. And so I was in the place of where you guys, if you're watching this video and you're like, you're trying to grow your business and it's not growing, I was there because I was learning, trying to learn. It didn't make sense. All the while, time is going by and no money is coming in. That's scary. And especially when I was like the sole earner for 2 families, I was starting to freak out. I was sweating. We had just bought this house and it was like a big mortgage payment and everything. And I'm like, am I going to be the one that just drives my family into poverty? Am I going to be the reason, right? Anyway, so we're going to get into what you guys need to know in order for that not to happen. So what I did, you guys, in those times, what I did was I played a long game. I learned all this stuff and then I filled in gaps where there were no instructions. I filled in gaps. And then I made it where it wasn't salesy, sleazy, and weird. And then I created a machine out of it, which is now HBR. It's now called HBR. It didn't have a name then. It was just Martha's machine, right? Like it was just, this is how Martha does it. And now it's HBR, so it's how everybody can do it, okay? But I'm going to help you right now. If you're stuck right now, if you're feeling stuck right now, then I'm going to give you 3 things to be thinking about to be able to get yourself unstuck, because there are a lot of people out there that think that their business should be successful, but it's not, or they've been working for years on something and they're like, when is it going to finally hit? Let me give you some things to think about to maybe tweak and then allow it to hit. Does that sound fair? Okay, here we go. Number 1. Make sure that you're helping a specific person. This is something that especially desperate business owners do wrong. Very desperate people, and I don't blame them for this thought process, but it's not helping. Very desperate people try to cast as wide of a net as possible because all they need are a few dollars. They're like, all I need are a few people to say yes. And if those few people say yes, then I can pay my rent this month. If those few people say yes, then I can feed my family this month. All I need are a few people to say yes. So I'm going to cast this really wide net and hopefully a few people say yes. What I'm going to tell you right now might scare you to death, but it's the best thing you'll ever hear. The wider the net that you cast, the more people have no idea that you're casting that net for them. So the less people will actually sign up or buy the thing that you're selling. You must cast a small net. Your net must get smaller. You need fish tank net, the little tiny scoop net, not the net where you know the disciples put it out and then like all the fish came in the boat and almost sunk the boat. Not that kind of net. The fish tank net. We need this kind of fish tank net where you just go in and you get your little beta, right? You get in, you get that. Because here's the thing, you guys. The smaller the net that we cast, the more specific we can be in our language and in our copy whenever we're speaking via social media or email or video or however you're speaking to people, right? The more specific you can be to somebody so somebody can be like, oh my gosh, she's talking right to me. I hear it in my videos all the time. I see it in comments all the time. Oh my gosh, she's talking to me. Oh my gosh, you're talking right to me. I was just thinking this last night. That's because I am talking to you. And I'm not talking to everybody everywhere. I'm talking specifically to you because you are my people. And so I talk specifically to you. So when I say, you know, I only need a few people to sign up so I can pay my rent this month, I'm talking to you. When I say I only need a few people to sign up so I can pay my bill, so I can feed my family this month, I'm talking to you. You're listening to me and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel that way, right? Because I'm talking to you. Now, can I also help Fortune 500 corporations with their clients and things like that? Yes. But am I talking to them? No. I'm talking to you. If I were talking to them, you wouldn't know I can help you. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. We have to be specific in who we're talking to. Here's the biggest thing I'm going to hear from people is kickback to that. Is going to be, well, if I'm only talking to a specific kind of person, what about everybody else? Well, who do I talk to? I talk to moms that either want to quit their job, have already quit their job, and want to be able to be the hero from home. Want to be able to change their family's financial future from home. They want to be able to kick back against the narrative and do what they want to do. They want to choose what their life is. Now, do I also have men come into my programs, even though I talk to women? Yes. It doesn't mean that other people don't come into your program. It means you're a lighthouse for your people. And you have to be a lighthouse for your people so they know you're here for them. If you cannot get specific in that capacity, you will not succeed. You won't. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There are no, oh, well, maybe somebody accidentally did. It won't happen. Nobody will know that you're talking to them, you guys, period. Stop doing it, okay? You gotta get specific. We do that in HBR, and I have other things that we can drill down on as well if you just wanted a one-off thing for that. That's what it needs to happen, guys. Okay, number 2 is to make sure that you help them in a way they describe needing help themselves. Make sure that you're helping them in a way that they can describe themselves or they self-identify as needing that help. So sometimes people will say, let me just think of a different genre or a vertical. Let's say health coaching. And people will, let's say autoimmune health coach, okay? So like they're a health coach and they or they really focus on autoimmune issues. Let's just say that. So a health coach that really focuses on autoimmune issues will talk about, well, here's how I'm going to help with autoimmune, right? Here's how I'm going to help you go from X to Y, and that's what I'm going to do, right? So then you talk to that person about autoimmune, X to Y, okay? So the good thing about that is that you're saying autoimmune, autoimmune, autoimmune. So the people that know that they have autoimmune, they know that that's a good thing for them. Okay? They know that it's going to help them because you're being very, very specific. Now, you could even get more specific and say lupus or, other autoimmune. There's lots of them. You could say whatever specific one you really help with, right? So that would be getting even better. And then on the front end of that, you can even do something where you have lead magnets that are about the symptoms of autoimmune disorders, or maybe specifically the autoimmune disorder that you help with. So I'm just using this as an example, but like a lead magnet could be, maybe you're not just sleepy. 10 ways to know if you're not just sleepy. Like there's different things that you could do to help people identify that they actually have an issue that you can help them with. Because I would venture to say most people with autoimmune disorders, just specifically, probably have no idea it's autoimmune disorder. They just think they're tired. They think that they're groggy. They think they have brain fog. They think what's wrong with them is normal, because that's what our society does. So they don't realize that they have autoimmune disorder and that they can support their body to be able to have it be more optimized under that disorder, right? So what you could do is you can speak directly to autoimmune, and then you can even get more specific in, like, say, lupus. Like, I help people with lupus, right? Go from X to Y. Well, and then on the front end of that, what are symptoms of lupus? That's what you do. Okay, so here's 10 reasons why, or maybe 3 or 5 or 7, it doesn't really matter. 3 reasons why you're not just sleepy, or 3 reasons why that pain isn't normal, or what kind of, like, what you're going to do is you're getting in front of them in a way that they can understand that this symptom, that's the self-defining moment, is the symptom. How does it refer? So what does it look like to them? So how would they describe it? I don't know, I'm really sleepy all the time. I'm really groggy all the time. Maybe it's just because I'm 40. Like, I'm really this, I'm really that. They need to self-identify with the symptom. And then when you tell them that symptom could be something else, now all of a sudden you become an authority to be able to help them. And you should be, because you can. But that's how you're identifying, and that's how you're communicating with them. Does that make sense? To be able to bring them in via symptoms and how it refers to them in their life. Now, that's a health thing, but there's all sorts of ways that we're able to bring people into our world. So for business, we can, like, for a home-based business, right? I can talk to people. I have a thing that I do, and it's a 90-day from your side gig to your main gig challenge, right? That's in my heart-centered group. Link is in the description of this video. But that's a thing that people that self-identify as wanting to take their side gig to their main gig jump into that challenge, and rightfully so, because I give them a lot of good stuff in there, and it helps them push the needle on their business, right? And so I bring my people to me in that way. So you need to be able to speak to your people in a way that they can self-identify as that being them. A lot of people's mistake is that they speak to people in their own verbiage, in their own lingo. And that lingo is not what they would have used to describe themselves. That lingo is your lingo. That's industry lingo. It's not what they're saying. You need to speak to them in the way that they would speak. Does that make sense? All right. And then number 3, build a community to love and serve them. That's the third thing. I need a little coffee. Hang on. The third thing is to build a community to love and serve them. So whenever we're bringing people to us, what we do is, instead of just bringing them to us and trying to sell them something, what we do is we bring them to us, and then we're like, here's some help. Here's how we move the needle. Here's how you're able to take the next step and the next step and the next step. And then eventually there's steps like into programs and products of ours. Okay. But we're able to help them get their first wins, their first being able to understand that you are there for them and that you love them and that you're here for their success. There's no other way to do that, you guys, other than creating a community. I'm going to venture to say there's no better blessing in the world than to create a community of your people and then serve them. And it isn't always about money. And it isn't always about, hey, they all need to buy my this and buy my that. It's about us taking care of them. And then when they're ready to buy our this and that, they're going to, because we have invested in them. This is something I say a lot, but I have invested in you long before you ever invest in me. And that's the truth. All my students know that have invested in themselves, right? I invested in you long before you invest in me. I am taking care of you. I am making sure you're good to go. I'm making sure you understand concepts that will push the needle. I'm making sure you're not sitting at the desk in the basement, the wonky desk in the basement, wondering how this all goes together. I'm making sure that you're good. That's the whole point here. I exist to make sure that that woman that knows that she can be more has the direction that she needs in order to get where she wants to go. That's my job. And that's your job for your people. There are some people that try to bypass community and they try to just do Facebook ads instead of creating a community and loving and supporting them. And maybe they have people buying their stuff. I mean, I suppose they do. But I'm going to tell you right now, they don't have actual success. Not success. Their students probably don't really have success because they're not bought in. As a content creator, as a course creator, as a teacher, they're not bought in to their own students. They're not in the trenches with their own students. They talk at people and not with people. You need somebody that talks with you. You need somebody that is going to be in the trenches with you to help you move this thing, to help you create this thing. And you need somebody who has done it themselves. So that's my suggestion. Find a mentor that has done it themselves in the way that you want to do it. Do you want to spend a bunch of money on Facebook ads, or do you want zero budget on Facebook ads and spend your time building and loving on a community? And it's not a lot of time, but it's better. I'm going to say that. So what your next step is if this is you and you're like, I'm stuck in my business and I need to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. If this is you and you've heard all of this stuff, your next step is this. Your next step is to jump into HBR. And the reason why is because, well, it's where I teach you literally how to do all of this stuff. It's where we have weekly group coachings where I answer your questions, where I answer questions and everybody else is having light bulb and aha moments all around the entire thing. It's fantastic. And then also it's the thing where you buy it once and you're in it for life. So you've got group coaching for life, which is unheard of in the industry. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Like, people laugh at me for doing that, but I'm like, this is who I am. This is what we do. We show up. We show up. So there is that. And then there is also the fact that we have the e-commerce site that is helping you actually sell stuff. whenever it's available, which is going to be very soon. And then the price is going up 71% this weekend. Okay, so you need to get in today if you're going to get in. Okay, I mean, you can wait until later, but the price is going to be 71% more. So don't think that it's not. It is. It's been due for a price increase for the last 6 months. We're just finally actually doing it. So that's what's going on here. Aside from that, you guys, what I want you to know is, and then I'm going to go into questions if you have it. I know I'm a little over in time. Yep, quite a bit. I have a student that has been trying to build her business for the past, I think it's like 16 years. 16 years, right? She spent all of the money on all of the gurus, all of the people, you'd recognize their names, and none of it ever stuck. None of it ever worked. So she's like me back at my desk. She's like me where I was sitting there and I was like, why do all these multimillionaires know how to do this, but they can't explain it? Why is it not making sense? I'm not stupid. Why doesn't this make sense? And you guys, it's because the model is broken. It's because they have set it up where it doesn't make sense. That's how it's been set up, guys. So 16 years of trying to figure it out, 16 years of going to different conferences and getting rah, 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 I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, you know, like where you walk out the front door and you're like, life is different now. And then all of a sudden you get in the car and your stomach kind of sinks because you're like, but what do I do? Right? But what do I actually do? And what you need is somebody to say, do this, do that, do this, do that, wash, rinse, repeat. That's what you need. It's all anybody needs. That's what we do in HBR. Soon as she joined HBR, it didn't take long at all before she's consistently making over 10K a month. She's finally where she's been trying to get for 16 years. So if you've been sitting there for 6 months with a business that's stuck, or if you've been sitting there for 5 years with a business that's stuck, if you've been sitting there for 10 years, God bless you for hanging in there. But you finally found what's going to work. Just jump in so you can actually do it. Okay? We're not going to let you stay stuck. I have a group of coaches that are literally there for you to email them so they can give you answers to questions, get you unstuck. If you're getting stuck on any one thing, we can explain it in a new and different way for you to be like, oh, I get it. You get feedback from us. And that's not a monthly payment. That just comes in the program. I'm telling you, you've never seen anything like this. We are producing the next highly successful people out on the planet. And they're going to make a massive shift in this world. And I think it's your time. I think it's time for you to pick up your bag and all of your stuff and be like, I'm doing this. And just jump in and let's go. That's it. So the way that you jump in is you just go over to my Facebook business page, Livin the Dream with Martha. You message me the words case study or rainbows and unicorns or whatever. Whatever you want to message is fine. But you just message us. We have a small conversation with you and then send you the details of the program. You can say yes or no. We're not going to be like weird and salesy and like hunt you down or anything. We're not like that. We don't teach you to do that, and we certainly don't do that ourselves. Okay? And so we have that conversation. You'll say yes or no. Just understand if you say no, no big deal, but the price is going up this weekend. Okay? So if you defer it, again, no big deal, but do know that that price is for now and not later. Okay? All right. What questions do you guys have? Carrie, HBR has taught me how to serve my people and help them out of the place they feel like they can't get out of. Oh, I love it. Crystal, that's how I felt before finding you in HBR. Thank you. Oh, I love it. Oh, Vonda, listening to Martha with my grandsons. Hey, grandsons. I love it. Nicole, OMG, totally. Now you really are talking to me. Carolyn, hi again. Hello, lady. Nosha, I'm jumping into HBR today. I'm so excited. Yay! Congrats to you. Oh, HBR priceless. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. This program has been worth every penny. Oh. Amanda, so grateful for you, Martha. Because of HBR, there are so many like-minded individuals influencing lives daily. You are my peeps. Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Cindy, yes, going into HBR, it was evident Martha had invested in me already. That's how, but the thing is like, it's a beautiful thing for your mentor to already be invested in you before you financially invest in them. That's just a beautiful thing. I think that the world needs more of that, right? And in HBR, I also teach you how to do that as well. So like how to do that as well. So you can also have that feeling, because I feel massively blessed every day by the way that I get to serve my people. But then it's not just me. I show you how to do it. And then you're blessed by how you serve your people. So you get to have this feeling too. So I'm not the only one with this feeling. I have this feeling. You guys give me this feeling. I teach you how to do it as well. And then we're all just showing up in service in a way that is just so soul satisfying that it's almost like I don't even care if I get paid or not. I mean, I need to, because, you know, this financial thing we have going on here, right? But it's like I would be completely filled up by just the feelings that I get as well. It's just so impactful. It's such a great way to be, you guys. Oh. Missy, I for sure need to narrow down more. Yeah, do it. Do it. Martina, yes, Martha is my lighthouse. Oh, I love it. Amanda, HBR has opened so many ideas for me and put my vision from more than 2 years ago into movement, and is happening organically. My coaching page is up. Yes! Yes! Awesome. I love that. Sarah's so blessed with HBR. I looked for something like this for years. It didn't exist, let alone in my budget. HBR is so affordable, especially for all that is inside. It should be way more. It's true, you guys. It's true. Somebody asked, Yanina, is Go for Gold, or is it the same? And then Carolyn said, no, it's not the same. HBR teaches multiple income streams, not a YL thing. Yeah, HBR is the whole personal brand. So we can leverage, if you're in network marketing, you can leverage your network marketing business to create a massive personal brand around it where you get to support and love on your people. And the YL thing, or the network marketing thing, can be a piece of it, but it can be leveraged to build this entire thing out. Or you can have this whole thing built out. You don't have to be in network marketing for HBR, by the way. You don't have to be. But I can show you, if you are, I can show you how to leverage that to really create a massive impact for your people. So that's another thing that I've done. So, okay, you guys, I love you so much. I'm going to pop out of here. I just spent like a lot of time on here. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.